Hello, welcome to Dundrell's podcast. I'm your host Justin. Today we're reviewing the DC comic book DC Annual Number 1 for New Teen Titans, which came out in 1982. I paid $8 for this comic book. Beautiful cover. Though I gotta say, look at Robin's costume. How come they waited till the 90s to change Robin's costume, man? Oh my god. Well, they did it. Well, they did change it before the 90s, but he became Nightwing after this. So they didn't change the official Robin costume until the 90s, right? Which, come on, man. How? Yeah, so this comic book takes place between New Teen Titans issue 25 and issue 26. This is kind of like a crossover event between Teen Titans and the Omega Men, which you can see some of them here. Which I'm not too familiar with the Omega Men. They're like a space superhero team, kind of like the Guardians of the Galaxy, right? And they were in Crisis on Infinite Earths. So this comic book, which love that 2-page spread, beautiful art by George Perez, who recently died. This is part 1 of our tribute to George Perez, right? Which beautiful art. The story here is basically Corey, aka Starfire, was kidnapped by, we're not sure if it was her sister or these aliens called the Scions, right? And Beast Boy, who's called Changeling here, Robin and Cyborg are here to rescue her. Starfire wants to kill her sister because her sister, Commander, who I don't know if she went by Blackfire back then, but yeah, that's basically the original Blackfire. She wants to kill her because she betrayed Starfire. Told her, hey, her parents were killed by their young brother, right? So you have this epic fight between Blackfire and Starfire, which Blackfire cannot fly, right? But eventually our characters are overwhelmed, right? And we think our characters got killed, but Beast Boy survived. While all that's going on, which also you get the origin story of X-Hall, which is the living god that Starfire's people worship. That's her. She got kidnapped by the Scions, where that's what they look like. There's also Demonia, who's a shapeshifter. She's part of Omega Man, and she's like a traitor. So while this is going on, the Omega Men are on their way to rescue our characters, right? Also, the Scions make Starfire and Blackfire have this duel to the death on their home planet for the world's different home worlds entertainment, but really it's like a psyop, right? Yeah, so here's where you get the origin story of X-Hall. Here you can see other members of the Omega Man. You got Primus there. I don't know who she is, but she's also you can tell she's also a Tamaranian, right? Which the Titans with the Omega Man are Wonder Girl, Raven, and Kid Flash, right? So they come up with a plan to rescue our characters, right? You have the final battle between Blackfire and Starfire on their home world, right? you got this really cool like fight here with Wally piloting like a spaceship, which they have to like rely on him to get past the Scion's defensives. And yeah, you also have like Beast Boy and Demonia rescues Robin and Cyborg before they get killed. Right? And here's Demonia and Beast Boy. There's them getting rescued. And you get. I'm just gonna skip to the end. So you get like a happy ending. The X-Hull wakes up and saves everybody from getting destroyed by the Scions. And Starfire gets reunited with her parents and her brother, which I never knew she had a brother. I'll show you her brother here. There's her brother, if you're wondering what he looks like. Yeah. So you got a pretty cool, like, Star Wars space opera, like, story with the Teen Titans in space. And the comic book also comes with these, like, kind of, like, posters. Right? There's Robin. And there's Wonder Girl. Which the original, like, Teen Titans team was Kid Flash, Dick Grayson, Robin, and Donna Troy, Wonder Girl. Yeah, so I really enjoyed this comic. You kind of, like, you kind of got thrust into the middle of a story arc, but they did a good enough job explaining, hey, what was going on, right? And you got to see the climax of that story arc. You got like three different perspectives going on. You got the battle between Starfire and Blackfire. You got the Omega Men fighting like the aliens, and you got like Beast Boy rescuing like Robin and Cyborg. So like it was overall great comic book, great story. The dialogue could have been better, but this comic book is like 50 years old. 50 years old, people. We're in 2022 now, and came out in 1982. Do the math. Wait, is it 50 years old? No, 40 years old. What am I talking about? 40 years old, not 50 years old. Right. 40 years old. I love how I was like, do the math. And I got the math wrong by 10 years. Oh, my God. 40 years, not 50 years. Oh, well. Yeah, so, like, it was a great comic book. Worth the $8 I paid. And this was like 40 pages, right? So, like, it was, it's bigger than your usual, like, single issue comic book. Yeah, and it's way better than that, like, that newer, like, annual, Teen Titans annual I read, which was, like, like 100 pages. It was like 100 pages of fucking garbage compared to this comic book, man. You gotta love 80s comics, even though some of the costumes in here are not the greatest. Like Primus here and this chick. Yeah. And also Raven, you don't really see Raven's hairline, but like Raven, if you ever read like 80s like Teen Titan comics, she has a very bad hairline. She is like Vegeta style, like Widow's Peak. And not a fan of this costume. Robin's old costume. But, it was an awesome comic book. 7 out of 10. If you can find it, get it. But if not, I'm sure it's put in some kind of omnibus or whatever. Which I still need to get Teen Titans omnibuses. I'm sure they're still in print. So for part 2 of our George Perez tribute, we're going to review the Infinity Gauntlet, which does have, I confirmed, is art from George Perez. Which, you know, that's pretty much like Adam Warlock pretty much looks like Dick Grayson there. That and Cyclops. Which Cyclops has his, like, X-Factor costume there. And you can see Drax the Destroyer in his old costume. Don't know who that is. Oh, I think that's, yeah, I know who that is. I forget his name, but, like, that's, like, that's one of Galactus's old, like, heralds. Yeah, I can't wait to read and review this, guys. Alright, guys, that's it for this video.